Last 5 seconds. Ready guys? Start. Mr. President, I should like to ask Dr. Ambedkar whether it is necessary to retain after the words that the governor will be aided and advised by his ministers the words except in regard to certain matters in respect of which he is to exercise his discretion. Supposing these words, which are reminiscent of the old Government of India Act and the old order, are omitted, what harm will be done? The functions of the ministers legally will be only to aid and advise the governor. The article in which these words occur does not lay down that the governor shall be guided by the advice of his ministers, but it is expected that, in accordance with the constitutional prevailing in all countries where responsible government exists, the governor will in all matters accept the advice of his ministers. This does not, however, mean that where the statute clearly lays down that action in regard to specified matters may be taken by him on his own authority, this Article 143 will stand in his way. My friend Mr. T. T. Krishnamachari said that as Article 188 of the Constitution empowered the governor to disregard the advice of his ministers and to take the administration of the province into his own hands, it was necessary that these words should be retained. For example, the discretionary power of the governor should be retained. If, however, he assured us Section 188 was deleted later, the wording of Article 143 could be reconsidered. I fully understand this position and appreciate it, but I should like the words that have been objected to by my friend Mr. Kamath to be deleted. I do not personally think that any harm will be done if they are not retained, but we can then consider not merely Article 188 but also Article 175 on their merits. But in spite of the assurance of Mr. Krishnamachari, the retention of the words objected to does psychologically create the impression that the House is being asked by the drafting committee to commit itself in a way to a principle that it might be found undesirable to accept later on. I shall say nothing with regard to the merits of Article 188. I have already briefly expressed my own views regarding it and shall have an opportunity of discussing it fully later when that article is considered by the House. But why should we, to begin with, use a phraseology that it an unpleasant reminder of the old order that and that makes us feel that though it may be possible later to reverse any decision that the House may come to know, it may for all practical purposes be regarded as an accomplished fact. I think, sir, for these reasons that it will be better to accept the amendment of my honorable friend Mr. Kamath and then to discuss Article 157 and 188 on their merits. I should like to say one word more before I close. If Article 143 is passed in its present form, it may give rise to misapprehensions of the kind that my honorable friend Dr. Deshmukh seemed to be laboring under when he asked that a provision should be inserted entitling the governor to preside over the meetings of the Council of Ministers, the draft constitution, does not provide for this, and I think wisely does not provide for this. It would be contrary to the traditions of responsible government as they have been established in Great British and the British dominions that the governor or the governor general should, as a matter of right, preside over the meetings of his cabinet. All that the draft constitution does is to lay on the chief minister the duty of informing of the governor of the decisions come to by the council ministers in regard to administrative matters and the legislative program of the government. In spite of this, we see that the Article 143, as it is worded, has created a misunderstanding in the mind of a member like Dr. Deshmukh, who takes pains to follow every article of the Constitution with care. This is an additional reason why the discretionary power of the governor should not be referred to in Article 143. The speech of my friend Mr. Krishna Machari does not hold out the hope that the suggestion that I have made has any chance of being accepted. Nevertheless, I feel it my duty to say that the course proposed by Mr. Kamath is better than what the drafting subcommittee seemed to approve. Stop.